Have you ever done a science experiment and wondered what it'd be like if you did it big? I have. My name is Phil, and I take your everyday science experiments and do them big. This is Science Max, Experiments at Large. Science Max! Newton's third law is the science behind balloon-powered rocket cars. It's also the science behind a maxed-out rocket car that I can ride. Plus bowling balls and an interrupting sign. Today on Science Max, Experiments at Large. Greetings, Science Maximites. I am Phil McCordick, and this is Science Max Experiments at Large. Today, we're going to be experimenting with the balloon-powered car. Here's how it works. Woohoo! It all has to do with Newton's third law.
Newton's third law. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction.
We don't have to do this now. This is all for later. We can build the cars first, and then we can, let's go over here. So how do you build a balloon-powered car? Well, I suggest you be Science Maximites, because there's any number of ways you can build a balloon-powered car. You do not have to follow my design. You should come up with one of your own. It may even be better than the one I built. But I will give you some tips, though, that make it a lot easier. First of all, you need something to stick your balloon on that has an opening on it. I used a turkey baster for this car. I just pop the top off, and remember to tell an adult that you're using the turkey baster. And then you stick the balloon on there, and it allows you to attach something to the car, and it also makes it easier to blow up the balloon. You can use any number of things, even just any kind of tube that you find lying around. It helps you attach the balloon to the car, and it helps you blow up the balloon way easier. The other thing you should think about when you make your balloon-powered car is how you're going to make the wheels roll. Once you've decided on the base of the car, you could use anything, even just a piece of cardboard like this. You can do your wheels in two ways. The first way is to attach the wheels to the axle. This is how I made the axle of this car. I used a shish kebab skewer, and I stuck it inside a straw, just like that. And then I attached the lids to the shish kebab skewer. So the lids and the shish kebab skewer are attached, and they rotate in the straw. That's one way to make the wheels turn. The other way is to tape down the axle, or whatever you're going to use, and have the wheels spin around on the axle. Two great ways to make your wheels turn, and it really kind of depends on the wheels you're using. You can make your own design and keep refining it and making it better and faster, or do what I like to do and make a whole bunch of different cars. So we've got this one. This one I made out of paper plates, and this is a snorkel. Awesome. This one is the rock car, because there's a rock on it. I've got the dragster model. It's a long broom handle, and it might not work that well, but who knows? And this is my favorite design. It's made out of waffles and an ice cube tray. This is why I make a whole bunch of different cars, because I can race them.
Sunday, Sunday, Sunday at the Science Maxidrome. It's the balloon-powered car winner-take-all drag race of awesome.
First up, the Eliminator.
Woohoo! Better late than never, it's the Procrastinator. Crushing the competition, it's the Terminator. Feel the chill of the refrigerator.
All right!
And last but not least, the, regurgitator.
Well, when you build your balloon-powered cars, you can figure out what worked or what didn't work and try modifying your designs to make them work even better. That is science. And now we're gonna max it out because this is Science Max Experiments at Large. So we're gonna take that small balloon-powered car that we just built and we're gonna make it much, much bigger. I'm gonna go to the Center for Skills Development and Training and we're gonna use the science behind the small balloon-powered car and we're gonna make it big. That science is Newton's third law, but there's plenty of
third law. For every action,
there's plenty of time for this later. We're not doing this bit now. We're doing that bit in a minute. So we can, no, I said we're doing it later. We're doing it later. Whoa. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Phil.
This is Sarah, and she's got a master's degree in physics from McMaster University.
That's right.
And we're gonna be talking about Newton's third law. Oh, look out, duck! Sorry. There was a sign that kept coming in. Never mind. Newton's third law. Well, what is that?
For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction.
Right, so how does that work with our balloon car?
Ah, cool. Okay, so if you blow up the balloon, what's gonna happen when you release it is the air is gonna push out with a certain force, which in turn is gonna cause the cart to move forward with the exact same force.
Yeah, works great. So how come it doesn't work with my rock cart?
Ah, wow. Well, actually, it did work. So the balloon still pushes with the exact same force, which causes the cart to have the exact same force push forward, but your rock is really heavy, so you probably didn't see it move.
Oh, so a lighter cart works better with the same amount of force.
That's it.
Well, there you go. Newton's third law. What?
Newton's third law. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction.
I'm really starting to dislike that sign.
Phil, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Our small balloon-powered car works because of Newton's third law. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. The air pushing out the balloon this way pushes the car with the same amount of force this way. So, in order to max it out, the plan is just to get a bigger wheeled cart and a much bigger balloon. So, everything should work out the same.
Okay, so I thought what we would do is in order to max out the balloon-powered car, what we need is a cart to start with, and then I ride it. And we have a giant balloon, and then I go.
Do you have a giant balloon?
Ha 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 ha! Giant balloon! So, step one, Sarah blows up the balloon.
Okay.
Wait. Use this air compressor, it'll probably be a lot faster.
Sarah and I get to work blowing up the balloon, and it takes a long time. A very long time.
Okay, human-sized balloon-powered car test. Take one. All right, Sarah?
You got it?
Yeah. Okay, let it go.
Okay, go!
Let it go.
You did.
You did let it go.
It's let go.
Nothing is happening.
It's not coming out fast enough, and you're a bit too massive. I don't think it's gonna work like this.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, balloon-powered car test 2. No fill. I'll just take it and... What happened?
I don't think it worked. The balloon popped. Phil, are you okay?
This is why you wear protective eyewear. Yeah. So, that didn't work.
No.
No. Should we get another balloon?
I think we need something else.
Okay, well, the air coming out of the balloon just didn't have enough force, so...
We need the air to come out with more force.
Yeah, do we get, what, a bigger balloon?
I don't think that's gonna work. I don't think it's that. I think we need something with compressed air.
Oh, like a scuba tank or a...
Fire extinguisher, something like that. Yeah, that's what we need.
Okay, sure. Well, we can... All right, so I don't know if that's safe to do that, so we'd have to build like a cage or
Yeah,
something?
I don't know if it's gonna work on this.
All right, well, back to the drawing board. So
Okay.
what we should do is we should get
We need to find these tanks.
get the tanks, and then we make like a frame out of aluminum or something.
Okay, that could work.
Yeah,
That's
they
a
can
good
hold the
idea.
tanks, so
Yeah.
they're safe. And then what we should do is...
Who was Isaac Newton? He was a mathematician and probably #1 on the list of top scientists of all time.
Albert Einstein said, Isaac Newton was the smartest person that ever lived. You've got to be special if Einstein is calling you smart. Newton's 3 laws of motion was a huge idea, but did you know Newton also came up with the idea of gravity? The famous story is that in 1666, Isaac Newton was sitting under an apple tree when he watched an apple fall and wondered why. Hey everyone, I just invented gravity, which was a big relief because up until then, everyone was just floating around. Okay, so it didn't happen like that. He didn't invent gravity, he gave a name to this invisible force and then described how it works. Not only did it make things fall down, but it was the same force that kept the moon circling the Earth and the Earth circling the sun. And he invented a new kind of math to explain how. We now call it calculus. See? I told you he was smart. He's very smart. This is hydrophobic coating. Hydrophobic literally means afraid of water, but it's not actually afraid of water. The chemistry of a hydrophobic coating prevents water molecules from penetrating anything you spray it on. You can get this stuff at the hardware store, and if you want, be Science Maximites and get an adult and think of the coolest thing you could spray with hydrophobic coating. I like to use things that do not go well when you put them in water, like tissue. Yeah, doesn't look great when it gets wet. Here's a tissue coated in hydrophobic coating. Huh? Weird. Or it works the same with a paper towel. Paper towel in water, paper towel covered in hydrophobic coating, stays dry. Or how about a dinner roll? Dinner rolls really don't like water. See? Gross. But a dinner roll coated in hydrophobic coating? Weird. Just don't eat it. Now, it's time to max it out. I have coated half of my lab coat in hydrophobic coating, and the other half I have not. Hydrophobic coating, regular lab coat. Half of me is wet, and half of me is dry. What's more, half of my outfit ended up being wet and half dry because the lab coat was protecting my outfit from getting wet. Now it's time to max it out even more. We have coated my entire outfit in hydrophobic spray. My shirt, my pants, and my lab coat. The pants have been taped to rubber boots, so no water's getting in there. And my shirt has been taped to my pants, so no water's getting in there. So here's the question. Can I get into the pool and out of the pool and stay dry? Let's find out. In the pool, out of the pool, and I'm still mostly dry. Now here's what really happened. I got into the pool, and I realized I should have duct taped the pocket, because all the water went in there, down into the rubber boots, started filling up the rubber boots, and now my entire leg is full of water because the hydrophobic coating isn't letting it come out. So the hydrophobic coating isn't keeping the water out, now it's keeping the water in. Let's take a closer look at Newton's third law.
Newton's third law. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction.
Okay. All right, let's watch it back. When the sign hits me, I exert a force on the sign in the opposite direction. That makes the sign stop moving. It also exerts an equal force on me, causing me to fly off in this direction. Now, if I was to push this sign, I'm not only pushing the sign this way, but my feet are pushing against the ground in the opposite direction. It's, well, it's really easier to see if I'm not standing on the ground. Oh, hold on. Okay, so, okay. So now that I'm hanging, watch. I push on the sign, but when I exert force on the sign to make it go this way, I go that way. Well, actually, it doesn't work as well because the sign isn't as heavy as I am. So wait, I have this over here. This is a barrel, and it has stuff in it, and it weighs as much as I do. Okay, so watch. If I push on the barrel like that, I go away from it as much as it goes away from me. So, there you have it. Newton's
third...
No, hold on. Newton's
third law.
Newton's third law. Okay, go.
Newton's third law. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction.
So, using a giant balloon to push me on a cart didn't work.
What happened?
The plan now is to use the compressed gas cylinder. Just like a balloon, these cylinders contain a lot of air. If we get a cart and put a gas cylinder in a cage for safety on the back and open the valve, the escaping air might have enough force to push me.
This is 2 cubic meters of air. If we were to put it in a balloon, the balloon would be this big. But if we compress the air, we can fit it all into one of these, a steel tank. This is what we're gonna be using next for our air-powered car. Got it?
Yep.
All right,
Good.
so Sarah and I have been hard at work and we've built the air-powered cart. We can't call it a balloon-powered cart anymore because now we've got a compressed air tank, so it's not a balloon that powers it.
Exactly.
Okay, so I'm gonna sit on here, Sarah's gonna turn on the tank, and I'm gonna go. And before we do this, we should say, do not, under any circumstances, try this at home. We are trained professionals. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, high five first. Okay, now we do it.
Okay, so before I turn the tank on, make sure your feet are down and the brakes are on.
Gotcha.
Don't take them off till I say go.
You have got it.
All right.
Ready?
Okay.
Yeah!
It worked.
Yeah, it did work, but I feel like it could work better.
You want to go faster?
I do want to go faster. This reminds me of the rock car.
Yeah.
Where we didn't have a big enough balloon.
We need more force.
We need more force. So should we get a bigger tank?
Let's get more tanks.
More?
Tanks, more force. You're gonna go faster forward, Newton's third law.
Newton's third law, high five. All right, let's do it.
All right.
Whoa. This is Newton's cradle, and it's a really cool toy that demonstrates all kinds of laws of motion, including Newton's third law. What you do is you pull this one ball out, and when it hits these balls, they exert force on that ball to make it stop moving, but it exerts force on these balls, which travels through the balls and makes this one on the end fly out, like that. Now, there's a lot going on here, but you can really see how the force is equal that you put in and you get out if you use 2 balls. I swing 2 balls up, and 2 balls go out that side. Isn't that cool? Now, it wouldn't be science max unless we maxed it out, so come on. Whoa, okay. This is one we built out of bowling balls. Bowling balls, bowling balls, instead of smaller balls. And I think it's gonna work the same way. Let's find out. You throw one out, and haha, yeah, it works the same. Okay, now let's try it with 2 balls. Okay, ready? Wait. And 2 balls, throw them out. And 2 balls on that side. All right, so there you have it. Whoa. Newton's third law. Oh. Ah!
Newton's third law. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction.
So our single pressurized tank created enough force to move me, but not very fast. The plan now is to do 2 things. First, we're going to triple the amount of thrust by using 3 tanks. We're also going to use some pipes that lock into each other to give me an initial push. These pipes slide together, and when the air is turned on, the pressure in the pipes will cause them to slide apart, which will push me forward. After that, I use what's left in the tanks to keep going.
All right, now it's time to max it out. I've enlisted the help of a few more Science Max people. Thank you very much, Corey. You'll see now we have 3 tanks of compressed gas, and we've also got this nifty little contraption. How does this work, Sarah?
All right, so each tank is attached to a tube,
Yeah.
and you can see that each tube goes into this one main tube, so when we turn them on, pressure's gonna build up, and we're gonna go forward with more force.
Well, that's great. And Reed is stacking cinder blocks. Thanks, Reed. Up so that will push, the pipe will push against the cinder blocks, and then I'll go
Or it goes
that
forward.
way. All right, well, are you guys ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's do it. Now, again, I have to say, thank you, Corey, I've got it. This is something you definitely don't want to try at home. We are all trained professionals. We have a physics degree here. We've got TV people that make sure that this is safe. So watch it and enjoy, but please don't try any of this at home. Okay, I'm ready. Sarah, count me down.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah! Woo! Uh-oh. Woo-hoo-hoo. That was awesome!
That was really awesome.
All right, high fives, high fives. Yeah. And it's raining now, so it looks like we're gonna have to stop. So thank you very much for joining us on Science Max Experiments at Large in our episode on Newton's third law.
Science Max is a show where we take small experiments and do them big. If you want to try these experiments yourself, go to our website for instructions. But not all the experiments on Science Max are the kind you should try at home. This one, yes. This, no. Try this, don't try this. A big yes, a big no. I don't know how you could possibly do this one at home. And remember, if you're ever not sure, ask an adult. Science Max, experiments at large. Science Max! Taking something flimsy and making something strong.
Whoa, pasta bridge!
We build things out of pasta, sand, and paper to show how you can use science to make something strong out of something weak.
Dry sand, wet sand,
Science sand.
It's all how you build it. Today on Science Max, experiments at large.
Oh, hi, Science Maximites. Have you ever been eating pasta and wondered, what could I build with this? Could I build something that could hold an impressive amount of weight? Well, I have, and that's what we're gonna do today on Science Max Experiments at Large. But we're not gonna use cooked pasta because it's too delicious. We're gonna use uncooked pasta, which is less delicious, but it's great for building. We're gonna make a pasta bridge. Here's how you do it. First, you wanna start with a plan. And then you want to take your pasta, I'm saying pasta, but of course spaghetti is usually the best thing to use, and lay it out on your plan. The reason you have a plan is so that you can make sure all of the spaghetti is exactly the right length. Lay it out on your plan, perfectly aligned like that. There. And now it's time to glue it all together. Now you can use white glue, but it takes a long time. So I suggest a hot glue gun, but make sure you get an adult's permission before you use one of these, okay? So you take your plan, you lay it out, you glue it up. Don't glue it on the paper because that will be bad. And you will end up with your truss, and it looks just like this. Now remember, you want 2 sides because those are the sides of your bridge. And as you can see, I've used several strands of pasta because that'll make it a little bit stronger. Once you have your trusses, it's time for the next part of the plan. This is the roadway, and it works the same way. Lay out your pasta, glue it up, and bam, there it is. Now, you put your trusses on your roadway, and you glue them all together, and you also want to put some struts along the top here, probably, to keep it nice and rigid. In the end, you will end up with a fantastic looking pasta bridge. Pretty good, huh? Pasta bridge. No other bridge could claim to be 100% pasta. Minus the glue. 99.8% pasta. 0.2% glue.
I say there, Captain. Set sail. Set sail for the land of pasta bridges.
Now, if that was pretty fast for you, don't worry. All the instructions are gonna be on our website. Now, a bridge isn't a bridge unless it spans a gap, because that's what bridges are for. So you put your pasta bridge up there across the books like that, and then you can see just how much weight the bridge holds. It's pretty impressive. If you build it right, even something as flimsy and as delicate as pasta can hold quite a bit of weight. I like to use big, heavy blocks and put them in the middle where there is no support from the books whatsoever, and just keep adding heavy things and see how much weight the bridge will hold before it breaks. How much will it hold? Well, I'm not gonna tell you. That's where you get to be Science Maximites and find out for yourselves. And now, we're gonna max it out. Today on, oh, my pasta. Today on Science Max Experiments at Large, we're gonna be looking at how fragile things can become strong if you build them right. We're also gonna be maxing out the pasta bridge experiment to see if we can make one that's strong enough to hold me. You think we can do it? I know I have no idea, but I'm going to the Center for Skills Development and Training to find out. Oh, hey, Kyle.
Phil.
How you doing?
Great, thanks.
Awesome. This is Kyle. He's got a master's in civil engineering. Did you want some pasta?
I'm good.
I can go back and get some more.
Really, I'm good.
Okay. So what does a civil engineer do?
Well, a civil engineer builds the world around us. Talk about our homes, keeping us warm in the winter, our roads, hey, even our bridges.
Bridges, that's fantastic, because that's what I need your help with. I want to max out the pasta bridge.
Awesome.
I want to make one big enough that I can walk across it.
Okay, that's never been done before.
I know, right? You think we can do it?
We're gonna need a lot of help to do that.
We don't need help. All we need is a lot of pasta, which I have. Ha-ha!
Nice.
What do you say?
Yeah, let's give it a shot.
Okay, we'll give it a shot. Why don't we just take some to start, and then...
In order to max out our pasta bridge, the idea is to take many, many strands of pasta and just keep gluing them together so the long beams of pasta in our giant bridge is nothing but many, many regular-sized strands of pasta. Here's where we were after 20 minutes of gluing.
There, that's nice.
Yeah, I think this piece is done.
Okay, so how does it work? Is it strong? Whoa.
Well, let's give it a go, eh? Yeah, I think this will hold.
Great! So we just need to build a few more of these then, right?
Yeah, that's right.
How many more?
212 more.
212 of these.
More.
212, but it took us like 20 minutes to make this one.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I guess so. I mean, this is Science Max Experiments at Large. That's what we do. We just keep building, and, you know, I don't have any plans for the next while, so...
Phil.
Yep.
I think that there's a better way of doing this.
I would be delighted to know there's a better way. It'd be faster than this.
Much faster.
Sure, let's do it.
Awesome.
I'm just gonna put the pasta back in the bag because it'll
Phil,
get stale.
You don't have to do that.
No, but it'll get stale.
Phil, I'm gonna call in one of my friends. We're probably gonna need some more help with this.
Oh man, that's a great idea. Sorry, that's a great idea because because at least we could get your friend to help clean up.
Better sandcastles in 80 seconds.
Building sandcastles is fun, but you can't use dry sand because it doesn't stay up very well. You have to use wet sand. But even if you use wet sand, it doesn't hold a lot of weight. But if you use sand with the power of science, it does hold the weight. Dry sand, wet sand, science sand. Here's what's going on. Say these ping pong balls are grains of sand. When they're dry, they don't hold together very well. That's why you can't build a sandcastle out of dry sand. But if you get the sand wet a little bit, the grains of sand will hold together a little better because of the surface tension of the water. That's why it's easier to build a sandcastle with wet sand, but they still won't hold much weight. But if you add something that creates even more friction between the grains of sand, like say this sandpaper, it will hold the weight. So here's what you do. Take window screen and cut it into circles. Make sure you get an adult's permission first, okay? Deal? Put in a layer of sand, pack it down, and put in a circle of window screen. And a layer of sand, pack it down, circle of window screen. Then, you guessed it, layer of sand, pack it down, circle of window screen. The window screens are gonna add more friction between the grains of sand and will make your sandcastle strong. Strong with the power of science. And then, you can put lots of weight on it. And there you go, sand with the power of science. Ha ha! Okay, I had to max it out. Let's see how strong science sand really is. Huh? Science!
Our pasta bridge was going to take a long time to build out of individual pieces. So we have a new plan.
Hey, Michaela.
Hey, Phil.
How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. This is Michaela. She's an undergrad in industrial engineering, right?
I am.
And you and Kyle have a new plan for how we can build our pasta bridge that's not gonna look like this.
Oh, man.
This is the best that Kyle and I could do with 20 minutes.
Okay, well, I have better.
Good, I'm glad. How are we gonna do it?
So instead of that, we're gonna try something like this.
Oh, okay. This is sort of like a giant burrito kind of thing, right?
Yep,
But we're going to build the bridge out of this.
exactly.
We're gonna make it longer though?
Yep, we're gonna make it 8 feet long. We have this long pole, right?
Yep.
And we have sheets of this pasta. We're gonna put them on the diagonal,
Okay.
and we're gonna roll it, but we're gonna start from this corner, and we're gonna keep rolling.
And don't forget to add water.
And we gotta add water.
I'll add the
'cause-
water.
Okay.
Adding water, just like this?
Yep. It helps the pasta to stick together. So as we're rolling, we're rolling, we're rolling. We're gonna keep doing this with a bunch more sheets so that it gets really, really long, like 8 feet long. And when we're finally done rolling, we gotta spray it with some varnish,
Yep.
and so that it all holds together.
Great, and then it's gonna be about this thick
Yeah,
when we're finished with it.
exactly.
This is gonna be one of the parts of the deck of our bridge.
Great, so each one of these large pieces is gonna be like one single strand of pasta and the little bridge we make.
Yeah,
We need a lot of these.
a lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
Still, it's a lot faster than doing it piece by piece with just the spaghetti.
Oh.
Every time I hold it up, you make that noise.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
Awesome. The shape of something makes a big difference in how strong it is. Get some toilet paper rolls and put them in a square, and then stack books on top of them. They can hold weight. Thing is, they can actually hold a lot more weight than you probably think. In fact, the amount of weight just paper in a tube can hold is really kind of impressive. Ha ha! And now, let's max it out. Bill's weight on 2 toilet paper rolls. Nope. Bill's weight on 4 toilet paper rolls. Nope. Bill's weight on 6 toilet paper rolls. Nope. Bill's weight on 10 toilet paper rolls. Ha! Ha ha! Bill's weight can be supported by 10 toilet paper rolls. But what if Bill jumps? Ha 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 ha. Didn't really work.
So,
Kyle and Michaela's plan is to use a long pole and sheets of uncooked pasta. We roll the pasta around the pole and spray it with a little varnish. We roll sheets and sheets of pasta along an 8-foot-long pole, making many layers of pasta. Then we wait for it to dry and remove the pole. What we have is an 8-foot-long hollow tube of pasta that becomes a single piece of the bridge. Then we attach a bunch of these pieces together and use more sheets of pasta to glue them into the shape we used for our small pasta bridge.
We're making our giant pasta bridge by wrapping sheets of pasta
around and around the poles using the technique we just had, making a whole large pole out of many, many, many sheets of pasta rolled around each other. And we've made a giant truss. Look at this. This is great, guys.
It's looking pretty good.
Yeah, if I hit it, you think it'd stay together?
No, stop.
What?
This is pasta, not steel. It's only made to just hold you.
Kyle, what do you think are the chances that this is gonna hold me when we build it?
Something like 50-50.
Not bad. Michaela, what do you think?
I'm gonna hope for the best.
Hoping for the best. That's exactly the kind of gray area we like to work in at Science Max Experiments at Large. Experiments at Large, I don't know if anybody's even ever done this before.
Not to my knowledge.
I don't think so.
Which is why we have no idea if it's going to work. Okay, so one more of these, because these are the sides.
Yep.
Roadway, and then the top.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, let's do it.
While we're waiting, it's a good moment to point out one of the things that makes our bridge really strong. That is triangles. As you can see, the truss, or the side of our bridge, is really just 3 big triangles. Triangles are very strong shapes to build with, and they work great in bridges. Now it's time for Science So Simple, a caveman could do it. This is a caveman. Today we are going to teach this caveman how to build a strong structure. Here are some boxes. Go on and build a shelter, and I'll come back and see how it worked out. No, that's not right. You need to build walls by stacking boxes on top of each other. That's how you build. Understand?
Oh, yeah.
I'll come back later and see how it worked out. Uh-oh. Does that look right to you?
Yeah.
Look at those boxes. They're stacked on top of each other. But if they are in tall stacks, what would happen if you push on the wall? You see? Walls don't stay up if you build like that. Let's try again. I'll help you this time. First, lay out the foundation, where your wall should go. Good. Now let's make the second level. No, don't put it right on top. You need to stack in between. That's how you make a strong wall. Okay, I'll come back later. Nice work. Why don't you give it a try? Looks strong, but you forgot a box. Join us next time when we talk about how to make a door.
Building a door in a wall is hard, because how do you make a big gaping hole in your wall without your wall falling over? Well, people have come up with lots of ways to put doors and windows in walls made of stone blocks over the centuries. And you can do this at home with books like I'm doing, or with building blocks. Just go up until you're happy with the height, and then stack each next layer a little closer to the middle until the final layer touches just like this. And then you take a big heavy book and you drop it right on top. And it's pretty stable, and you've just made a doorway. It works even better if it's part of a wall, because you want extra weight on the outside of these books here. So of course, I had to build one that was part of a whole wall. This is the same corbelled arch built out of little building blocks. And as you can see, I went closer and closer together until it meets at the top, and it is very strong. Whoa. Ha-ha! Now, let's max it out.
The kind of arch we're building is a corbelled arch. And the Science Max build team and I are using pieces of wood cut to different lengths.
How high can it go? We can use my head to, no, okay, wait.
It takes a while to get together, but once it's done, it looks just like the kinds of doorways stone buildings had in ancient times.
Ta-da! There you go, a maxed out corbelled arch. We went straight up until we got to these layers, and they got a little bit closer and closer to the middle until the last piece is one big solid piece. And if we built this right, it should be strong enough to hold me up. Yeah! Science! Woo-hoo! Well, it held me up for a minute, didn't it?
We rolled our pasta and constructed one truss. Now we've made a lot more rolls of pasta and connected them all together to make a second truss and a roadway, as well as the cross braces on top. And when we get it all together, we end up with...
Whoa, pasta bridge!
Pasta bridge!
We did it! We built it. We have no idea how long it will stay up, but it's up. It's doing its bridge thing for now, anyway. I am very excited because, as far as we know, I'm the only one to try to cross a bridge made out of pasta. What do you guys think?
I think I don't want you to be the last person to cross a pasta bridge.
You're absolutely right, but I'm gonna do it. I think we're ready. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. Oh no! That doesn't bode well for our pasta bridge. What happened here, Kyle?
You put all your weight in the middle of the joist. It snapped.
If only there was a way to distribute your weight. Maybe if you crawled?
Do like the military style kind of.
Oh, right, so that I'm putting my weight on more than one spot.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, wait a minute. That gives me an idea. You guys stay right there. I know what to do. I know what to do. I know what to do.
You're coming back, right?
Skis distribute your weight over a large area so you don't sink in the snow. That's what skis do, which is perfect for the pasta bridge.
Come on.
Okay, here
Come
we go.
on.
Carefully.
Is it working?
It's working.
I hear some cracking.
This might do it.
Try to spread your legs apart.
Spreading my legs apart.
Distribute your weight.
Distributing my weight. It's swaying a lot.
Oh, man.
Whoa. Crossing the pasta bridge. Woo, high fives. There you go. Science Max, experiments at large, pasta bridge, skis. What more could you want? Maybe a pasta chairlift of some sort. Science! Wear it. It is the fashion accessory of the year. I want to travel down it. Should have made it bigger. Science! 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 How long do I hold this piece for?
A long time.
Guys? Guys? This isn't fun anymore, guys.